Good morning, YouTubers. T Square here with T Square Talk. Well, I wish I could tell you I got a great video planned out for you, but it is extremely stressful this week, and not for the same reasons that many think. For me, the stress comes when people just can't see what's happening. I don't know how many calls I took this week about people saying, dude, you could have been hooked up. You could have sold off all your silver, your gold at these high prices and dumped it. And now it's going back down to nothing. I laugh to myself. I don't even have I don't know what the word is, the patience to argue with people anymore on some of this stuff. People just don't get it. My answers are short and sweet, really, right now. They're just simply put, this ain't going to sustain. It's a temporary pullback. And if you believe that, then, hey, just wait for it to go back down to $20 and then buy then. It just blows my mind. I actually put in a huge order yesterday. Not quite at the bottom, but I was pretty happy. The spot price when I put in my order was $46.20, 25 cents, something like that. Not the bottom, but still up a lot from where it was. We're up over $1 already, $1.20 right now from where it was, but it was pretty devastating. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. I'll probably touch up a little bit, give you guys some tips on prepping too real quick. It's not something we've talked about in a while, but I'll be honest, it was hard to come on here tonight and do a silver video. One, I'm exhausted just from a week of just already taking too many hits from people that just really don't understand. They were against silver and gold at first, and they got into silver and gold. They should be happy with their returns, and now they're questioning, should they get rid of it? Should they dump their position? I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so everything I tell you guys is just my opinion and what I think. But it's just crazy. If you guys enjoy today's video, though, even though it might be a little doom and gloom, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. If I get a bunch of thumbs up, I'll actually feel good going into the new day. Hit that subscribe button, help me out. And with that being said, let's take a quick look at the silver decline. And in order to really see the decline, this chart, it shows it best right here, this 3-day chart. So 3 days ago, we were at 48.50 almost, 48.40 roughly. And then literally the price started coming down. And then yesterday, the price really came down to where it got all the way down to 45.50. So if you were the subscriber that said, I think we're going to go a little lower, I think we're going to go down to 45s, you called it as of right now. Whoever that was, I can't remember who said 45. Someone said it in the comments, and I distinctly remember reading it. And I was like, 47, 45, not super far off. I personally don't think it can go much lower. I think they're pulling all the stops right now. We have the Fed meeting later today. They'll be probably most likely cutting interest rates. And then we have a big delivery at the end of the month. And then that's it. I don't think there's much stopping it from rebounding. Now, could it rebound sooner? Like I said, we've seen a devastating 45.50. That was pretty devastating for a lot of people, since that's $9 under its high only a week and a half ago, essentially. And some people just don't really understand what they're doing. They want it to be demoralizing. They want to cover some of their short positions. They want people to just stay away from gold and silver. They want you invested in stuff. And, when you look at this chart right here, this is a 1 month chart right here. So literally a month ago, we were where we are at right now. So essentially, we seen that climb work its way up until about the middle of the month, and then we seen it all get given back. And a lot of people just can't stomach that. They can't stomach that they might end up giving back a little bit. Nothing goes up straight shot forever. I mean, when I look at this chart, all I see is, man, that was a nice pick. betting on silver. Look at how much it's climbed. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I was buying silver at $28, $29, and we climbed all this way in just 1 year. And not even year to date, what we had so far this year. And yeah, we gave back the last month this huge quick climb right here that just went almost parabolic to some people, and we gave that back. We gave back a month's worth of winnings. But we seen that happen when we were on the climb here, and we started out at, like I said, we started out at 28 roughly. We climbed it all the way up to 34.50, and then we seen this devastating drop that just took a lot of people out, where it went all the way back down with a low of 28 if you were lucky enough to catch that. We gave away the whole first 3 months of our gains. But each time it pushes through even faster next time. And what I think we can see from this chart is that we're going to continue to go up. And then, yeah, we had this pullback. And I think the next one, which we may have to wait a little bit, I'm not convinced we'll wait too long. I think people have already seen these higher priced silver. I think $50 silver, it has a psychological effect on a lot of people. A lot of people just think that because silver went to 50 and then pulled back in 1980 and then it went to 50 in 2011 and it got crushed, that it has to happen every time. I kind of think that's what they want us to think, because they don't want you investing in silver, let's be honest. And as the economy has been on an all-time tear, let's be honest, we're at all-time highs now in so many different areas. This is not really sustainable. At some point, you have to have a healthy correction. And I think when the economy has a really bad correction and tanks, that's it. We will see a lot of money people will want to take their money out of the stock market, and they'll want to put it in gold. They'll want to put it in silver because they view that as a safe haven asset. But as the economy is getting crushed, you got to remember silver is a byproduct. It's a byproduct of other mining, of zinc, iron, this and that. And we won't be mining quite as much if we go into a recession. And if that happens, then that means we won't be getting as much silver. So the silver that will be out there, they'll have to rely on essentially the silver that's already above ground. Now, what does that mean for the silver? Well, these huge bank short positions will need to cover at some point. And they're banking that when a recession comes, the silver price will plunge. And if the silver price plunges, they'll be able to cover their short positions. But what they're not anticipating, in my personal opinion, is when that happens, there's also going to be a shortage of silver out there. And they will have to pay that silver back. And if the silver ain't there to buy, it's going to create a huge short squeeze on silver. And it's going to take out a lot of different banks and companies, because that's it. They've spent too much shorting it, and that will just be it, really. I mean, it will just, there's no end to where it can go. And I think once it goes up, yeah, we could have another healthy correction if we skyrocket to $100 silver. Yeah, if we have a $20 correction, is it devastating? Yeah, $20 stings. Is it the end of the world? No. I mean, still way ahead of where most of us got into investing. And here's another thing. A lot of people realize now that more and more people are paying attention to gold and silver because of the recent highs. And as that happens, it does bring more people into the fold. Now, there are people out there right now that are like, whew, well, we missed the boat, but at least we didn't miss the fall. We weren't in for the fall. Because some people might have even bought in at 50, and now they're looking at it, and they could have even bought in at 54. We got up to, like I said, to 54.50. And now they're looking at it at 47.35, and they're devastated. They really are. And so, I understand where those people are coming from. It stings. We've all had to sit through these dips. And every time it dips, it does sting. But if it recovers quick, that's it. A lot of people are going to be happy with their choices. I don't know how many subscribers I have added to the channel, and I've heard them say, man, I bought at 38, 39, and then the price plunged all the way down to 32. Did I mess up? What happened? And now we're looking at $47, $48. We're seeing, in my opinion, I think we are close to a bottom. How low can it go? It's discouraging when everybody around you is telling you you messed up. You should have sold. You should have sold. Should have sold at the high. You knew you had an opportunity and you didn't. And now, the articles are in full swing. I mean, there are so many articles. You don't have to go far. Why gold is falling. New gold prediction signals further 17% drop in the price of silver. I want you to think about that. With gold sitting at $4,000, you minus basically 170 times 4 is what, 680, I think? Can you imagine gold falling another 680 to like roughly 3320, I think? Let's see here. Take a quick look here. $4,000 gold. And I say 4,000. We're pretty much back up to 4,000, but it's struggling. 4,000, and let's minus another 17%, like this article says. Is there percent? Boom. Can you imagine gold going down to 33.20? It will be devastating for a lot of people, but it won't be the end of the world. You've got yours. It's almost like buying an insurance policy, in my opinion. And I've used this analogy multiple times, but think about buying an insurance policy. And, everybody's talking about how, okay, we just had our first cold front here in Texas. It's actually coming in right now as I'm making this video at midnight roughly. And a lot of people saying, oh, well, you couldn't have a hurricane now. We got our first cold front in. Anything can still happen. I mean, you could have a couple hot days. It takes time for the Gulf to really cool down enough to where it can't get the energy from the hot water. But all of a sudden, you're like, hey, okay, hurricane season's over. It's not over, but, I mean, we had a cold front. I'm going to cancel my insurance. And some people do this. I actually have friends that they buy hurricane insurance, and then they don't buy it for the second half of the year, or I should say for the first half of the year. Because now we're going into the fall, the winter, and then the spring, and then they want to buy it again when the season opens. But can you imagine you cancel your insurance policy, and then all of a sudden a hurricane forms up in the Gulf? That would really sting. Just the stress that would put you under would be insane. It's kind of how I feel today, even though not for that reason. So people just don't understand. And these people that are thinking, oh, we were at 50 and you didn't sell, you messed up big time. And I even probably kind of convinced a few people not to sell. And now, those people are second-guessing me. They're second-guessing everything. And they're mad. They're mad they didn't sell. Ultimately, everybody makes their own decisions. To sell, to buy, to not sell, to not buy, whatever the case may be. And ultimately, you just have to understand the fundamentals. If you understand the fundamentals, the real fundamentals of gold and silver, that's what I try to talk about on this channel, is so people understand. They don't just understand the profits. The profits are just profits in paper. As soon as you cash out, you're back essentially losing wealth. It's not a guarantee if you sell your collection today that you'll be able to buy back your collection, to be able to buy back physical. Could you theoretically? Yes. Are you seeing coin shops get flooded right now with stuff? Be honest. No matter where you are in the world, if you're watching this video right now, you tell me What are you seeing at your local coin shops? What are you seeing at your local pawn shops? You're not seeing as much stuff flood in. Pawn shops are going to get stuck right now with some of these metals they have, so they will have them there. Because if they bought an ounce of gold at, 4,000 and they priced it at 4,300 because that's where gold was, they're not going to let it go this low. They're going to hold out. So yeah, you're still going to see stuff there, but as the price slowly starts trickling back up, there will be people that will be buying that. The weak hands are the ones that are cashing in. The people that don't really have a solid fundamental understanding of gold and silver. Why are they buying it? Why? Are you just buying it to make a few dollars? I mean, if that's your thoughts, you can make a few dollars on anything. This, for me, this is designed as wealth preservation, 1, as wealth insurance, number 2, and, yes, to make a little bit of money down the road, 3. Now, do I make money if I hold it? Not actually. You don't make fiat dollars if you hold it. What you make is you'll make fiat dollars if you sell it, but then those fiat dollars are vulnerable. They're vulnerable to debasement. And that's the important thing you have to understand. The more they print, the less it's worth. So having them being vulnerable for a while, I wouldn't want to sell anything unless I had somewhere to put that money, to invest that money in something else. I totally understand. Your car breaks down or you have a major problem, you need to sell some. Hey, that's understandable. That's different. If you lose your job, you get laid off, you get let go, whatever the case may be, you have to slowly sell a little bit to pay your bills, to pay for food. I totally understand that. If some major thing happens and you have to let a little go, that's what gold and silver is. It is money. And yes, it's designed to be there when an emergency strikes. And it's designed to have the same value, purchasing power, as it did when you got in. Yes, it will be worth more dollars, but most of the stuff that you're going to buy is going to cost you more by then. And so once you understand that, you understand what's really going on. You start building up that firm understanding. I'm not just trying to make a few dollars. Could I have sold out my stack a week and a half ago and really been put in a key position that I could have been sitting pretty? Maybe, I won't say retire, because I'm pretty much already retired military. But, if you've already got semi what you need, why do you want to sell? Why not keep it for all the reasons that I stated in the beginning, to be prepared in case things get worse? Or keep it until you are retired, for those of you that aren't retired. Some of y'all may be truck drivers. You're driving right now down the highway. You're listening to this video. Some of y'all may be on your way to an office job and you're listening to this video. Some people, a lot of people, still going to work every day. And if that's the case, this is a retirement policy. It serves on so many fronts. It's unbelievable. And a lot of people just can't see it for what it is. Taking a quick look real quick at the silver price right now. We got silver sitting at $47.35. The futures at $47.47. So backwardation is done. Things have caught up. Things have evened out. Supposedly everything is fixed at the LBMA, at the COMEX. But is it really, or are we just being told that as the price plunges? We got gold right now trading at $3,951. And we got gold futures trading at $39.71. Bitcoin taking a little bit of a hit. Bitcoin trading right now at $112,836. National debt at $38.045 trillion. And the DXY sitting right now at 98.84. and working its way up slowly. Like we said, they will probably cut interest rates today. It makes sense that we will see the dollar get stronger. We may see a little bit of a pullback in gold and silver. But I don't even know. It could be pretty much over now. We'll see how it plays out. How much lower can it really go? There's a lot of buying. I mean, I've picked up a lot of stuff over the last couple days, but I'd be a fool to not buy right now because I firmly believe the price is going to go a whole lot higher. And when it does, where are you going to stand? This is all just noise. Okay, so before I go, I want to talk a few minutes about prepping. So we're at 20 minutes. We got time still. I'm not really watching the clock, but I do try to some days have shorter videos. Some days they happen to be longer. But what I want to talk about is prepping. A lot of people right now are getting busy in life. They've got a lot going on. They haven't been taking the time to kind of prep stuff. Get their beans, get their rice, get their pasta. Take the time, preserve it. One, we're going into winter. In the past, most people would like to have a little bit of extra supplies for winter. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and go crazy and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on prep items that may go bad on the shelf. But I have done a lot of videos like this one right here where we did. Is this a video or is this okay, let's see. I thought it was a playlist. Let me just pull up. I was trying to pull up something real quick. I thought I had a playlist dedicated to prepping. But yeah, I mean, canning beans, rice, pasta, putting it in something that it can be preserved for long-term shelf life, it's always been a wise thing to do. Not because you think the end of the world is coming. That's not why people prep. The reason people prep is so they have a little extra to get through stuff. Even if you don't believe in any of this, you know, it doesn't hurt to have some extra canned goods. You go to the grocery store, you see they got something you like on sale, buy a few extra cans. We are going into winter. Now, could bad stuff happen, especially with a government shutdown right now? Bad stuff could happen. That's not the only reason you're prepping. You're prepping for a multitude of items that could happen. I mean, just our food chain could end up breaking. Our supply chain could break down. And if we see any kind of a breakdown, it can happen quick. Anybody that remembers the whole cough remembers waiting in line at the store being told you could only have a couple cans of something. We're still basically using stuff from the summer. Summertime resources are plentiful. Everything is growing. Things are good. But at a certain point, you have to understand things could get bad quick. And if they do get bad quick, are you prepared for that? So kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about. What kind of stuff could you be buying right now that will keep long term? Well, if there's canned goods that you like, canned vegetables, hey, buy some extra cans. If you know you're going to use them. I'm not saying if you don't like Spam, don't go out and buy a case of Spam and plan for the end of the world. I'll be honest. When I first started prepping and stacking and all this, I would prep, and I would prep items that somebody else told me to prep. Why? They said you should have rice, beans, pasta, Spam, canned chicken, canned pork, canned whatever. I cannot stand Spam. Will I eat it? Yeah, I'll eat Spam if I have to. I don't like it. I know some people have said, oh, if you cut it thin and you toast it up in a frying pan or you mix it up with eggs. Okay, if you do any of that, it is tolerable. I'm just not a fan of Spam. But I'll eat it if I'm hungry. I mean, some days I'll break open a can just because, hey, it's easy, it's cheap, I already got it. Mix it up with some eggs, fry it up real good, and that's it. It's extremely salty. Processed, probably not the healthiest, but it's quick. It's probably even better than, it might even be better than ramen noodles. Some people tease me about ramen noodles because I love ramen noodles, and I know those ain't healthy for you. But needless to say, pick up some extra stuff. It doesn't hurt. Now, a time could come when you can't just go to the grocery store and load up on fresh vegetables. If you've got some extra canned goods, you try to learn how to use them, you're in a good position. Excuse me. So that's kind of something that I wanted to touch base. I had a subscriber tell me that I should go back and kind of talk about that a little bit right now, because we are going into winter. There is a lot of issues happening, and a lot of people aren't prepared. When you put beans, rice, pasta in a canning jar, you seal it, you put maybe a oxygen absorber in there. I know some people say you don't have to put the oxygen absorber in there if you're sealing it properly. And yes, that's true. But if the can seal starts to slowly pop open from environment, having that oxygen absorber in there will make it last a little bit longer. I mean, those oxygen absorbers aren't even a nickel. I mean, I literally think when I bought the last pack, I think I paid like 2 cents a piece, maybe 3 cents a piece. But I'm buying them literally 1,000 of them for like $20. And so I don't worry about putting them in there. Sometimes I'll put 2 in there. Now, Mylar bags are a great thing. I actually did a video. I wish I had pulled it. For Wallaby, which was the company that I was buying a lot of stuff from. They actually said, can we give you a referral code? But I don't even know the referral code now. I misplaced it. I'd have to hunt the video down. If anybody is interested, they can leave a comment. Hey, can you pull that video and essentially give us the code? It was like it got you a cheaper deal. That was it. You know, you save like $5 or $10 on your order. I ended up telling a few people, hey, yeah, if you're going to put an order like $20 worth of stuff, save $10. And then you can always double down later and put another order in and get another $5 or $10 off the next order. You know, you obviously want to watch cost. All these people that prep and they don't really pay attention to what's going on. I actually was at Walmart one day, and someone came in, and I could tell that it was the lady was looking at the canning stuff. The husband was there, and the husband was just kind of shaking his head, frustrated. She was worried, and worried that there was going to be major food crisis and issues. He was shaking his head because I guess when I talked to them, they had been stacking for a while. They went, and he bought a case of macaroni, a case of pasta, case of rice, and just threw it all in the cabinet. Didn't do nothing to it, left it in the same little boxes that it comes in. Those boxes are not designed for long-term shelf life. They're designed just to package it up for you and give it to you, and then you take it home and use it. So they don't really focus on the length. If you're using jars, now jars can get expensive, glass jars. I like using glass jars for a couple different reasons. I like glass jars, 1, because they keep a long time. 2, I like glass jars because they'll definitely come in handy in any kind of a major event. But Mylar bags are great too because they're super cheap. I can get probably 10 Mylar bags for the same price as 1 canning jar, or maybe 50 Mylar bags for the price of 1 case of canning jars. So there's a lot of opportunity, but you have to actually focus, do a little bit of stuff, and that's why I've done so many videos on preserving stuff for long periods of time. Preserving stuff like rice, beans. I mean, those things are just so cheap. They're easy to prep. I mean, you can get a 50-pound bag of rice or a 50-pound bag of beans for like next to nothing in price. And then, you put a big 5-gallon Mylar bag down in a 5-gallon food grade bucket and you fill it. I mean, a 50-pound bag of rice will fill like 3 5-gallon buckets, maybe 2 depending on how full you keep them. Some people, they cram everything they can in there. Some people like me, I'll do 3, seal it, and then I'll maybe throw some bouillon cubes or something in there and put it up. Now, I always get asked, do you rotate that stuff properly? So, you know, when it comes to rice and beans, if you're creating something with a 25-year shelf life, I am not the best at rotating. I'm not the best at rotating that stuff. I'm paying a little extra money so I don't have to. It's like that insurance policy that we talk about. You know, a little insurance policy for a couple $100, literally $200. I can put 100 pounds of beans up, 100 pounds of rice up, easy, for $200, and that will keep 25 years. The astronauts use some of this stuff, the Mylar bags and stuff. So definitely one thing to consider, one way to go. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you think prepping plays an important part in your life, let me know. Are you buying? Are you selling? What are you thinking is going on? I love to read y'all's comments. I am extremely behind on comments right now. I have been focusing my attention, obviously, members' comments. And then I have been following it up with something that's free, because I know a lot of people will say, oh, he'll never see my comment because I'm not a member. And I don't like that. I want people to know we're on a level playing field. We literally are. I want the people that have serious questions to know their questions are going to get answered. However, it costs you nothing to hit that subscribe button and then make it publicly visible, so you can see, so people can see you're subscribed to the channel. And I'll give you an example of what that looks like right here. So I'm going to come here for a minute, and then we're going to wrap up the video. So if you have one of these marks next to your name, your comments do get prioritized. It can be any one of the marks that you have option to. So what are the marks? The marks, there's 3 different ones. The first one being members. Members only. But then people do pay a small fee. I'm going to pause this real quick. Pull it up. They do pay a small fee. But this is what the members, it's just a star. You see that little star? It says member, the Mr. Happy Stacker. Been a member for a year and 3 months. However, there are other ones that you get for free. Oh, man, I hope someone commented with one. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of feel bad. And my eyes gets hard to see. They're sleepy right now. Unbelievable. I don't see one. This video don't have anybody with one of the other marks on there. There's actually 3 different ones that you can get. Doggone it. So the other one means you're subscribed and it's visual. People can see that you're subscribed to the channel. If I go and I check out your channel, like if I go to Gregory Martinez, I go to his channel and he has the people he's subscribed to public, so you can see what type of stuff he watches. That will give you an extra icon here. I am targeting the icons. If someone's taken the time to do that and they show they're subscribed, people see that when they put a comment, they get a mark. The other one is a heart. They get a heart next to their name. The heart means that they have given they're in like the top 20%, I guess, of thumbs up on the videos. I don't really understand exactly how it works, but the more thumbs up you put on my videos, it eventually gives you a heart next to your name. So just a few notes for people that don't want me to miss a comment. But like I said, I do try to, people that know me know I am really good about hitting up on comments. Even as busy as we have been lately trying to answer, like 34 comments on just this one video today. That's 34 people that I will reply back to, on top of the other 200 or 300 comments over other videos I've posted over the last couple weeks. And then every now and then a video that I put up like a year ago might get a comment that says, hey, I'm having trouble with my incubator, or I'm trying to figure out how to preserve these beans for long term, whatever the case may be. Gold and silver videos, you don't really see comments on that type of stuff because it's kind of old news. There's no point really in watching a video now. Hey, silver's at $15 today and it's going to go a whole lot higher. You know, people don't really watch those type of videos per se. So take a minute, hit that thumbs up button. It helps out more than you know. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. We're going to wrap up here. Be sure to check out some of these other great videos. I do post videos every Monday through Saturday now. The only day I'm off on is Sunday. And pretty soon I may start doing Sunday videos too. We'll see. Especially now that it's starting to cool off a little bit. Plus, we do shorts periodically if something cool happens to me or I see something awesome or I just think something is interesting. So definitely check out our shorts, check out our videos, and thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Y'all have a great day, and take care, everybody. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.